Good evening, I'm Sarah Safsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. CPN-UML withdraws its support to the government. Premier Dahal says he won't resign from his post. Meeting of office bearers of Maui Centre decide to go for the floor test. Nepali Congress and UML makes constitution amendment their main agenda. Experts say it's a challenge and might invite polarization in politics. More than 116 killed in a stampede at a religious gathering in Uttar Pradesh, India. Cause of the stampede yet unknown. And Romania playing against Netherlands in the Euro Cup. Australia play Turkey at 45 minutes past midnight tonight. CPN-UML has decided to withdraw its support to the incumbent government led by CPN Maui Centre Chair Pushpakamal Dahal. The party's secretariat meeting held in party office in Chassel took the decision as ministers from the party are to submit their resignation. UML has also urged Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal to pave way by resigning from his post now that he does not have the support of the party, which played a key role in the current alliance. At the meeting, CPN-UML Chair KP Sharma Oli informed the party of the decision reached with Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuwa after Monday's meeting. The two leaders had met late yesterday and had agreed to share the remaining term of the government and also to amend the constitution. They have agreed to form a powerful commission under the coordination of former Justice for the same. Oli and Deuwa had also determined the equation at the provinces along with the ministries at the centre. CPN Maui Centre has decided that Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal would not resign from his post despite the understanding reached between Nepali Congress and CPN-UML for a new ruling equation. The meeting of the office bearers of CPN Maui Centre held today decided that the Prime Minister will not resign from his post. Party's spokesperson Agni Sapkota said that a decision has been made to make efforts to form a new political equation and for the Prime Minister to take the confidence vote at the Parliament. Spokesperson Sapkota said that the consensus between CPN-UML and Nepali Congress was a political ploy and said that it had raised doubts. Sapkota added that the party has decided to make an effort again to form an alliance with Nepali Congress and Rashtriya Swatantra Party, among others. In the meantime, UML Chair Oli, who had reached Balwatar early morning today, suggested Premier Dahal to resign from the top executive post and pave way. Premier Dahal had reached Sital Niwas earlier today and held dialogue with President Ramchandra Podal. The President's Secretariat has said that Prime Minister Dahal informed the President about the recent political developments during the meeting. Likewise, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party has termed the agreement reached between Nepali Congress and CPN-UML regarding constitution amendment positive and has also welcomed the move. Nepali Congress has decided to move ahead with the agreement reached with CPN-UML regarding power equation. The meeting of the office bearers of Nepali Congress held in party president Sher Bahadur Deuwa's residence in Buranilkantha made the decision. During the meeting, they were informed about the agreement reached with UML Chair Oli last night. According to his close aides, Deuwa said that a consensus has been reached between the two parties to share the term of the government leadership. Congress has also decided to proceed by reaching a consensus regarding amendment of the constitution and to hold discussions with other parties in this regard. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal had spoken to Deuwa through telephone call while the meeting was underway. Dahal had, according to sources, proposed Deuwa to form an alliance government, including Congress, Maui Centre and Rashtriya Swatantra Party, among others. A Congress leader said that Deuwa rejected Dahal's proposal. Congress has called a meeting of the party's Work Execution Committee for tomorrow to implement the agreements reached with CPN-UML. Now, the issue of amendment of the Constitution had been raised since the Constitution was promulgated. It has already been amended on 2 occasions. The two large parties of the Parliament, Congress and UML, have included amendment of the Constitution as the main agenda while forming an alliance. Both the parties have been making efforts to change the election system. They have begun talks for the formation of a commission to amend the Constitution. Questions are being raised on the issues that the parties are making efforts to amend in the Constitution. 2/3 majority of the Parliament is required to amend the Constitution. For this, the two large parties have decided to form a government of national consensus. However, the task of reaching a consensus regarding constitution amendment among political parties with different agendas, experts say, is difficult. Congress and UML have also reached a consensus to form a high-level commission under the coordination of former justice that will give suggestions for required amendments in the constitution. This has raised questions about whether efforts were being made to amend the constitution or to redraft it. Both the parties have reached an understanding on various issues, including the election system, in an effort to maintain political stability. However, CPN Maoist Center had expressed a disagreement regarding the matter. It has termed the move against the system. The Constitution of Nepal, which was promulgated in the year 2015, had yet to be fully implemented due to leaders' lust for power. Various groups had been raising questions on the democratic republican system as well. It has been said that the Constitution will now be amended to strengthen democratic republic and to prevent questions on it. Likewise, the issue of scrapping provincial level authority and reducing the number of local levels has also been raised. Various Congress and UML lawmakers had also raised the issue related to secularism. Madhesh-centered parties have separate demands for constitution amendment. In the meantime, the main problem in the country system that has adopted constitutional supremacy is failure to abide by the constitution. In these contexts, in our Public Voice segment, today we've asked in several provinces what they think of the new ruling equation. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
दाउ बेचेर खुट्टा तान्ने तानातान गरेर समयको बर्बादी गर्ने हो भने त्यो चाहिँ बेठिक हुन्छ।
कहिले पनि राम्रो भएन, अब बन्नी चाहिँ एकदम राम्रो छ र राम्रो होस्।
प्रदेशहरुलाई चाहिँ कसरी हेर्ने हो अथवा चाहिँ नि यो यत्रो खर्च कसरी धान्ने हो देशले टाटपटन लागेको बेलामा यो सबै कुरालाई चाहिँ संगठित तरिकाले अगाडि जान खोज्ने हो र उहाँले बनाएको चाहिँ सम्झौता कारण हुने हो भने अहिले बनाएको सम्झौता एकदम ठीक छ।
नयाँ बनेको संविधान राम्रै लाग्छ।
जुन संविधानमा टेकेर गर्नुपर्ने चीज अथवा संविधान संशोधनको लागि गर्नुपर्ने चीज पहिले नै अलि दूरदृष्टि दीर्घकालीन रूपमा गर्नुपर्ने थियो। सधैँ 3-3 महिनामा धैर्य त नभएको जस्तो भयो।
दुई दिग्गज पार्टीका दिग्गज नेताहरूले मिलेर जुन गर्नु भएको छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ धेरै सकारात्मक रूपमा लिएको।
मुलुकले चाहिँ एउटा नयाँ रूप चाहिँ लिन छ र एउटा काँचुलो फेरेर चाहिँ नयाँ रूपमा चाहिँ जानेछ भने हामीले विश्वास लिएका छौँ।
लोकतान्त्रिक पद्धतिमा नयाँ समीकरण बन्नु भत्किनु सामान्य कुरा हो।
ठुला राजनीतिक दलहरू एक ठाउँमा बसेर एउटा चाहिँ मजबुत सरकार एउटा लामो समयसम्म टिक्ने गरेको सरकार बन्नुस्।
जनता पनि धेरै खुसी भएका छन्।
It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we'd asked you what's your say on the ongoing trend of spending budget indiscriminately towards the end of the fiscal year. 33% voted for option A, misuse of budget. 13% for C, result of not following schedule, and 54% for C, commission gain. And here's today's question. What's your take on the Prime Minister's decision to take the vote of confidence instead of resigning? Your options are A, it's his constitutional right, B, effort to save his government, and C, unyielding. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. We'll take a short break here. More news coming up. The Parliamentary Committee formed to probe into the cooperatives fraud case has decided to take suggestions from nationally recognized political parties regarding ways to address the issue of the sector. Today's meeting of the Special Committee also held discussions with officials of the National Cooperative Federation of Nepal, National Federation of Saving and Credit Cooperative Unions and Cooperative Bank Limited. Committee Chair Surya Thapa has said the committee will now correspond with parties for their suggestion and added that works of collecting information on the status of cooperatives is underway. Thapa also said the problems seen in the cooperative sector signified problems in the overall economy, suggesting that cooperative was one of the pillars of the economy. Salt Trading Corporation has raised the price of edible salt. According to the decision made by the meeting of the Board of Directors of the Trading Corporation, the price of salt has been increased by 4 rupees per kilogram, effective from midnight tonight. According to the new price list, the price of iodine salt, which is 22 rupees per kilogram, will reach 26. Likewise, consumers will have to pay 20 rupees per kilogram of new Shakti salt. Prior to this, the price of it was 16 rupees per kilogram. Meanwhile, the price of Bhanu salt has been kept intact. Salt Trading had been providing Bhanu salt to consumers at 9 rupees per kilogram. Acting Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Salt Trading, Kumar Raj Bhandari, said that the province, departments, sub-departments and depot offices have already been corresponded regarding the adjustments made in the price of edible salt. Now, the Secretariat of Employment Board has been found to have misused the savings of migrant workers deposited in the Welfare Fund for fares and ministers' foreign visits, among others. A complaint has now been filed at the corruption watchdog CIAA. There are victims that have gone through accidents and look to use the fund for treatment, as many migrant workers contribute to it. However, they are having to make rounds of the board to withdraw any amount. Migrant workers who return home following health issues have spent hundreds and thousands of rupees on their own, and there are many who have lost their source of incomes since returning. Many are also in need of rehabilitation. The fund was established with the intention of financially supporting migrant workers who for any reason have sustained injuries. Migrant workers, depending upon their contract term, contribute between 1,500 to 2,500 rupees to the fund. So far, it has a deposit of 5.5 billion rupees, which has yet to benefit the real workers. A recent fair, for instance, by the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security was organized with 4.9 million rupees from the fund. Likewise, the fund was also used for Nepal's participation at the job fair in United Arab Emirates some time back. The Commission for the Investigation of Abusive Authority is currently taking statements from the board officials after it received complaints. Migrant workers send over 1 trillion rupees in remittance each year. Their hard-earned contributions have been reportedly misused for furnitures at the Minister's Secretariat and for vehicle maintenance, among others. Time now for international update. More than 116 people have been killed in a crush at a religious gathering in northern India, according to officials. The incident took place at a satsang, which is a Hindu religious event in Hathras district in Uttar Pradesh. The victims, including a large number of women and some children, are still being identified. A spokesperson for a senior police officer in Uttar Pradesh told the BBC it would take hours to release the final tally, but confirmed at least 116 dead. The venue is said to have been overcrowded. The officials say that a high-level committee had been formed to investigate the incident. Accidents are routinely reported at religious events in India as huge crowds gather in tight spaces with little adherence to safety measures. In 2018, around 60 people were killed after a train rammed into a crowd watching celebrations for Dussehra, a Hindu festival. In 2013, a crush at a Hindu festival in the central state of Madhya Pradesh had killed 115 people. Moving on, Gaza residents have shared more harrowing accounts of their treatment in Israeli jails following their release. At least 22 Palestinians have been arrested in areas across the occupied West Bank in the past 24 hours, the Palestinian Prisoners Affairs Authority has said. Israeli raids in the Palestinian territory have become a nearly daily occurrence since the war started last October. More than 9,400 Palestinians have been arrested in the West Bank and occupied East Jerusalem since 7th of October, according to Prisoners Watchdog. Hundreds of Palestinian patients have been forced to flee the European hospital and tent camps for the displaced in Khan Yunis as the Israeli army ordered an immediate evacuation of eastern areas of Gaza's second-largest city. The latest mass evacuation order came as Israeli tanks and fierce fighting has trapped Palestinian civilians in Rafah in the south of Gaza Strip and the Sujaya neighborhood in northern Gaza City. Overnight and into the morning, witnesses reported multiple Israeli strikes in and around Khan Yunis. A medical source and the Palestinian Red Crescent said 8 people had been killed and more than 30 wounded. Much of Khan Yunis was destroyed in a sustained Israeli offensive against Hamas earlier this year. The city, to which some of its residents subsequently returned, is almost unrecognizable. Many moved back to take refuge from Israel's offensive in Rafah, and now once again many are on the move, fearing a major new assault. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.